You are actually sick in the head. Take an aspirin and shut up, because she looks like a sick freak.
So I wanted to come on here and talk about something that is really starting to annoy me. So I applied for a job at TJ Maxx a few weeks ago, and they denied my application. They couldn't even call me. They just sent me some automated email. So I went in today and I was like, so what was the reason I didn't get hired? And she was like, oh, like, you just, like, don't have enough experience. There was candidates that had, like, more experience than you. And, you know, I asked her if it was about my tattoos, obviously, because I know a lot of places don't like tattoos. She said that wasn't the reason. I don't feel like that's true, but whatever, I'll leave it at that. So I'm just wondering how, like, teenagers and young adults who haven't had a job before, how are they supposed to get employed if these places are only hiring people with experience? So younger people just can't get a job because they haven't worked enough? So, like, they'll deny a 16-year-old a job because they don't have enough work experience? Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me.
I think deep down she knows that she wasn't hired because she looks like a sick freak. You got denied because of your tattoos. I don't think it had anything to do with your work experience. It's not about the fact that you have tattoos. Many people in all professions have tattoos nowadays. It's very, very common. However, it's not as common to see this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and this. That's a bit alarming. It's more about where your tattoos are, not the fact that you have them.
Well. No shade to the original creator. I think that video is very relatable. If you get an opportunity, please go back and watch it. The reason that I am stitching their video is because I want them to know that the term well is a term that is based in anti-Semitism and anti-Black racism and is very, very harmful. I recognize that it has developed colloquially in society as something that's like, well, shit, obviously, look at that. Obviously it's gonna happen. But you need to know that it came from a place of, well, shit, look at those Jewish people being obviously stereotypically Jewish. Well, shit, look at those Black people being obviously stereotypically Black, right? That's where well comes from. So as a community, as a collective society, we need to stop saying that. Stop saying well.
Where did you pull that from? Well, look at these Black people, look at these Jewish people. Get a job. Get a hobby, get a life.
Now, I identify as trans and genderqueer, and to me that means I like to play with gender, I like to problematize gender. I like to confront gender norms in how I present and how I move through the world. I feel female and male. I feel both and neither one. And so many of the labels that we use in this area feel equally authentic and inauthentic. And I simply can't tell where one gender ends and another begins. Medical interventions allow some of us to change our primary and secondary sex characteristics. We have phalloplasty that creates a penis and a scrotum and testicles. We have vaginoplasty that creates a vagina and a vulva. We have chest masculinization and breast augmentation, all of which create bodies that are readable to outsiders, but it's clear that cisgender bodies are still the reference point. But will technology give us options that are artistic and creative? Artificial limbs even now can transmit rudimentary sensory data back to the wearer. And it seems to me that a fully functional, artificial, sensate penis is maybe not that far off. But do we have to stick to penis and vagina norms? Can we have genitalia that look like flowers or abstract sculpture? Can we have multiple? Can they be interchangeable? And what about other areas of the body?
Like flowers and abstract sculpture? Just say that you're mentally ill without saying you're criminally mentally ill. You want a creative bottom surgery, a creative top surgery? You are actually sick in the head. If genitals do not define gender, how do you feel affirmed by removing it? Jumping through hoops here to try to understand. I never will. But it's not every day you have a mentally ill man pretending to be a woman talking about creating his anatomy to fulfill flower and sculpture fantasies.
I had to go to the ER yesterday because one of my testicles were a bit hurty. I spoke to a nurse on the phone and they sent me there. I'm sure my call wasn't easy for them. On one hand, I'm a woman, so they normally just tell me to take an aspirin and shut up. But since I mentioned testicles, that set off alarm bells. Or alarm balls? The whole thing was very scary. First, we trans women don't tend to get the best medical care. Second, I had to spend the whole day talking about my mama marbles. Plus, among the things that could have been irritating my ovaries were STDs and, well, cancer. Which is worse than STDs. Thankfully, my care was genuinely good, especially the nurse who gave me a supportive smile right after my triage. It was very kind, and he was very, very hot. I can't remember all the details because at the time I was worried that one of my girl nads was trying to kill me, but I'm thinking like 6'2", maybe 6'3". DM me. Turns out it was a simple urinary tract infection, which is very common in females. Yay, womanhood! Oh, and hot nurse man, all clear on the STD front.
Okay, that was 90 seconds of my life I'll never be able to get back. Yeah, I couldn't imagine being the nurse, answering the phone, hearing that voice, and thinking that this is a woman. Who in their right mind would think that's a woman? Your voice is like 8 octaves below a woman's. But once again, the people in the hospital, these nurses, these doctors have to play along with this, that, yep, you are a woman, Mrs. Woman, or else it's their problem. They get fired, they get canceled, they get attacked. It's their problem, not yours, that you're mentally ill when you're going into a doctor claiming to be a woman when you look and sound like that and you have UTIs are very common in women. Yay. What? Someone said, good thing your doctor recognizes that you have a better chance of testicular cancer than ovarian cancer. Doctor knows what's up. That's all I'm saying. I also, as a woman, have never been told by a doctor, take an aspirin and shut up. So there's another defining moment that this man who's cosplaying as a woman thinks defines womanhood. These people like to make jokes of women. They don't want to be women. They want to make jokes of women.